Hi friends, I'm Mitch, and today I'm going to teach you how to draw this cute little raccoon. This cute little raccoon, he's climbing in the trees. He's climbing in the trees. So this is pastel with colored pencil. So this right here is colored pencil. A little of this is colored pencil, but it's 99%, well 90% pastel. So we're going to go over how to do the logs. We're going to go over how to do the cute little raccoon and his little leg and that realistic fur that you see here and the realistic fur here. We're going to show you how to do it along with how to do the realistic grass and everything. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy this tutorial. Hey friends, I'm Mitch and we're doing another dog. Oh no, wait, we're doing a raccoon. That's right. We're doing something different. So here is our raccoon picture, obviously by Gil Merritt, by the way, on free reference photos for artists Facebook group. So I doubt the raccoon looks that blue. Maybe he does. That looks really blue. So when we go to represent that, by the way, obviously, guess what we have? We have quite a blue raccoon. So yeah, we need to maybe color correct it in Photoshop later. I don't know. But that is quite a blue and purple raccoon. So if that's how he's supposed to look, that's cool. So we are doing this in colored pencil, as you can see, and pastel. So we came in with our blue pastel pencil, and we're just sort of making these small tick marks like we do with everything. Small tick marks, and since he's sort of bluish and purplish, we have to come in and make this more purple because we do not have this color. So it's one of those things to where sometimes you just don't have the correct color. So you got to get 2 or 3 things and mix them up. So yeah, we're doing that. We come in and we make this. Alright, and we have this place down here where it comes down. We need to get that in there. Alright, then we just come in with colored pencil with our Stabilo, all marking pencil, by the way. I just ordered a 20-pack of these that's coming in this week, hopefully. So now we come in with the purple. So I just got a purple colored pencil, and we just lightly glaze, certain areas of this. We have that bluish purple look that's on the reference. And again, I really doubt he looks like that. So we're going to have to color correct, unfortunately. But this is the reference photo, and I match it. That's how we roll. And then we come in with a beige colored pencil. This is 10% French gray. 10% French gray. And now I just want to make little tick marks like that. Well, I was shaking the whole table. Now I want to make tick marks like this. And I'm coming in pretty hard here because we have these little marks on them like that. There we go. And then we come in with our Stabilo all marking pencil, and we make squiggly lines because he has squiggly lines. Make them light on some parts and heavier on others. So we got these squiggly lines like this. And then over here we have heavy-duty squiggly lines. So for that we do French gray. Yeah, we do French gray. Always be easy on your hands, man. So just holding this and just pushing. So there's no like heavy-duty force being applied or anything like that. If you got a wrist brace, wear that. A lot of us work on the computer all day, and sometimes all night. So then we come to do art, and we don't want our hands to hurt. Alright, now in between that, we're going to come in and make little marks here. Because obviously the hairs aren't all perfectly aligned. So I have these little marks in between them. like this. You can see it on the reference. This is a pastel pencil, Stabilo Carbothello pastel pencil. This is 400, model number 400. And again, a little purple. Pick a purple of your favorite choice. Alright, then we come in with our Stabilo marking pencil. And again, we're just holding it naturally and then just pushing like this. Easy on the wrists. Super easy, light, and relaxed. Like that. Coming in. Like this. We have some hairs going like that. But it looks pretty good. So that's how we do the hairs up on the above the eye. Now those need to match. So I need to bring this up a little bit again so they match. Alright, so it looks pretty good. Need to calm down this need to calm down that a little bit. It's a bit much. Alright. So that's basically it. Then we're gonna come in with pastels. Now, we do have our pastel set from Unison. So we're going to use this for the grass. And they're probably asking, why wouldn't I use pastel pencils for the grass that's underneath the raccoon? And the reason is because if you can use a stick, use a stick. It's going to be, the dust is going to be higher quality than these cheapo dollar pastels, pencils. I'm just telling you. These sticks have extremely high quality pigment and they drop a lot of pigment. So it's always better to use a stick wherever humanly possible, because that is really just going to help you out in the long run and look better. So we have your Unison sticks. This is just a green 31. So we need a baseline green just to come in here. So we're going to use the very tip of this and just sort of come in here and get a grass base, right? So we just have this grass base. And again, just so easy on the wrists. There's no worries, there's no stress. You don't have a lot of any pain or anything like that. So again, a lot of us work on the computer all day, like me. You come home, you really don't want to deal with that crap. Love colored pencil. That's my dream job, is to just do colored pencil stuff. However, the reality is it hurts. So we're going to get another green and come in with that. And the next green is going to be a desaturated, kind of a desaturated green. We have green 15. I'm going to try that out. A desaturated green can intermix in here. So we have like a, because this is such a loose base right here, right? We're coming in here. And again, this is art. It doesn't have to be perfect. I considered rubbing that in, then I changed my mind. So now we have a bright green, almost yellow. It's like a yellowish green. And we're going to get that with green 29 here. So these are just going to be tips. So make sure and use the tips. Just use this. Like that. So that gives us this nice effect. We don't want it all to be the same, so in some cases we're going to get short little dots for the tips, like here. In other cases it'd be really light, like that. In other cases it'd be kind of bold. Make sure you go different directions. Like that. And then we have tips over here as well. We have two of these coming out like this. Like that. So that looks like grass. I mean, again, it's not photorealistic, but in reality, you really don't want it to be absolutely perfect in all manner of appearance. And then we have obviously the loose pastel pencils. So we can come in with a bismuth yellow or something on these really soft Caran d'Ache pastel pencils. Are super soft. So if you want to put like a tip, maybe a yellowish tip on some of these, you can do that with this, like the sun is sort of hitting it kind of thing. Like that. Obviously not everywhere, but here and there doesn't hurt anything, right? So that gives it that unique look. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the grass. So let's talk about the tree. Here's the tree. So basically, yeah, so close up. So basically, a gray pastel stick, a dark gray pastel stick and just on the side, and then a dark gray pastel stick, just random marks, right? Random marks, and then rub it in, because the tree's blurry. You look at the picture, the tree's just blurry. Random marks on the side, get some shade, rub it in, all right? And then a darker but not black stick, and you come in and make these hard lines, and again, rub it in. So up here we have some hard lines and darker areas. Make those and rub it in. Over here we have just darker areas in general. Just make it a little darker about on the side. Rub it in, and then down here a little darker as well for the shadow. So you don't want to make it just one slather. You want it to be in a tree pattern but darker. So it's a tree pattern but darker, because it's where the raccoon is right here. A little darker in the tree pattern. Okay, and then over here we got a little bit darker area around here, and then here as well. So we went in with this light gray, and we came in with a black, and now we come in with obviously a white, and we make our white patterns. I mean, we do have white patterns over here and things like that. So don't just go ham with it, but you do want some sort of white patterns where there's white patterns in the tree. So again, just make those. And so the whole thing, once you do that, and once you blend it with your gloved finger, then you end up with what I think is a fairly decent looking tree. I mean, that looks legit. That looks real. So the arm, obviously pastel pencil, going like that, and then the Carbethedal all marking pencil to make it whiter. And then down here it's the exact same thing, but it's purple. So we use this, and then we come back with a purple pencil. You can use pastel pencil, you can use color pencil, and it's a little darker here with the purple, so we go a little bit darker right here, a little darker right here, so we go a little darker right there. And then we come in with the all marking pencil, the white, and then we sort of, make little dashes, look good. So we have a good looking arm. Obviously the pastel green pastel on different patterns with black, in between. So overall, I think that looks fairly good. So good news, you don't have to use hardly any colored pencil at all. So it's easy on your hands. I know I keep saying that, but my hands hurt, so whatever. That probably needs to be a little darker up here. A little darker, because that is a heavily shaded area. A little dark there. Here we go. Up here, maybe a few dark marks, like there. Is that even in focus? Up here, a few little dark marks, because it is a little darker area. Like that. It just nice and easy does it, right? Nice and easy does it. And the tree looks good, and the raccoon looks good as well. So we're basically just going to repeat this over here, and down here, and there, and then here, down here. So again, we're just going to repeat what we did on the tree in a bunch of different places. And finish the squirrel with some pastel in the background. Again, we have to color correct this because it looks bad, man. It doesn't look good at all. Need to figure out where the edge of this is. I think we need a measurement. Okay, so from here to here is right there. Right there. So from here to here will be right here. So we're accurate. We're accurate. We're panicking over absolutely nothing right now. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So we're coming back in. Like right about there, right? Right about there. Okay, and then we just come in here. So let me show you the whisker area real quick. So we get a colored pencil. And we're just gonna move my iPad. We're just gonna make sort of a hair pattern here. Let me zoom in. Just gonna make sort of a hair pattern here. Again, always push, nice and easy. Nice and light. You don't want to wax bloom your suede matboard. Obviously go in the direction of the fur. Alright, and then we need to determine if that's legit or not. I think it is. I think it is. I think that looks good. That doesn't look good. Something's wrong. No, that's right. Okay. And then we get our Stay Below All marking pencil. And before we do that, let's get our pastel pencil and just come in here and make some marks in between. So you want some sort of marks in between there, especially here. We're going to press harder because we have some kind of gaps right there, right? Alright, now we come in with our Stay Below All marking pencil, and again, light in some areas, hard in other areas. We just want to replicate this. Again, we turn it a little bit every time, just to get on the fresh edge. And come in and just make our little whiskers here. Make sure they're curved so it looks like the picture. And make sure they're short as well. What you don't want is long hairs around the nose. That doesn't exist in nature. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. I think we need to come up a little more and replicate the other side, basically. So what's on this side needs to be on the right side. So let's take a break and look. And we have a mirrored reflection. I think that looks pretty good. Then obviously we have long whiskers coming out. I think that's a little blue. It's a little blue. Come in with a purple, maybe, or maybe replicate that over here. We need to do something because that doesn't match. You don't want one side looking one way and the other side looking totally different. Even if it's a little too blue, we can make it a little too blue on the other side. And then we can come in and cover up some of that blue with the Stabilo All Marking Pencil. So that looks legit. That looks pretty good. Doesn't look great, but it looks okay. It looks okay. And anyway, so let's come in with a white pastel and come in with a white pastel and make some thicker marks. When I say thicker, I mean like some of the whisker areas is just thicker than the others. It's not all the same. So we kind of replicate that here like that. And we can cover up some of our sins of the blue like that as well, right? Sin, forgiveness, live action, sin, forgiveness. Isn't this exciting? Now, you could have watched any other video, but you would not have seen live action sin, forgiveness. Okay. I mean, that looks lopsided, but okay. Something's wrong with it, and I don't know what. So, I really don't know what. I think this cheek is a bit fat. I think the cheek is a little fat. It looks like he just ate a bunch of something. He's got it in his mouth. All right. All right, I think that's a little better. I think that's a little better. Okay. Still a little fat. Okay, that's better. All right. Let's zoom back out. That looks good from a distance and it matches the reference, so I believe I'm happy with the whisker area. Now you do want to get this area up here and replicate some of this, right? Replicate a little of this up here. And like in the ear, the ear is a little thicker than what we have up there. So let's get a little thicker ear. A little thicker ear there, and then Stabilo All Marking Pencil. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Now we got the tree finish we can make. There we go. Cool. Looks pretty good. So let's talk about the background. So my destination is a digital. In other words, this is just going to be a digital image eventually. So I don't have to put like 7, 8 layers on there. So I had a desaturated green, a little more saturated green, a little more saturated green. So I went over with the side of the stick and I got a good background in there. So since it's digital, and it will eventually just be pixels, I'm going to get Photoshop and blur all of this and not waste my expensive pastels. And, you know, because you're going to have like 3, 4 layers to make that smooth. And I don't have to bother with it because it's digital. So just keep in mind, you don't have to eat up your outrageously expensive pastel sticks if your destination is digital. Just my personal opinion. So you can, if you want to, feel free to use up that $5 stick on one painting. I mean, you know, nobody's stopping you. Nobody's gonna harass you about that. So good news is we all pastel from here on out. We don't have to worry about colored pencil. Got it easy on our hands. So over here, this fluffy area, we are going to do that with pastel really light, And then we're going to do this. We're just going to replicate the tree bark. So let's do a tree bark live, and then we'll finish up hopefully after that. So let's do tree bark live. I bet you didn't know when you woke up this morning that you were getting live tree bark. Live tree bark. You were like, what? What kind of awesome stuff is this? So this is Gray 23 from Unison. Again, I mean, again, use your own, you know, use new pastel. Use something that may not be Gray 23. You're not married to this. I'm not like recommending this product or anything. So, you know, on second thought, Gray 23 looks a little like the background. So we're making an executive decision here. We're going with BE19. What does BE19 look like? Looks a little better. So again, just white marks coming in through here. Let us forgive the pastel sins of Gray 23. And coming through here, and we have like a white mark coming all the way through there. What in the world is that? Okay, so this is the light portion. So this right here is the light portion, and below that is the dark portion. So we're just going to get the light portion and make it light. Like that. I'm not sure what's happening here. Turn it on its side in some places. Just get the light portion. Alright. Obviously we blend it. Live tree bark, my friends. For free. Look at this content. If you haven't hit like and subscribe just for this live tree bark portion, you should. This is Juro 420. Insert jokes here. 420. Lightly pressing. So I'm just sort of replicating what I see. Sort of replicating what I see here. I think we're actually on the wrong tree bark. That's okay. We will continue on. This is dark down here. It's light up here. So we're on the wrong section. That's okay. You can't really go wrong with tree bark. Even if it doesn't look like the tree bark, you can always go darker. So that's good news, right? We can always go darker. Or lighter. Alright, now we have live tree. We have double tree bark. This is exciting. I hope you know. You don't get this anywhere else in the world. Nowhere else will offer you double live tree bark creation. Okay. So there's your light with a BE, whatever that was. Now we got the 420. 420. Some marks up there. So we're turning it on the fat side so we can get a fat mark. We turn it here, we get a thin mark. We turn it here, we get a fat mark. We want all the fat we can get. It's like going into a steakhouse up in here. Alright, now there's thin marks over there. course, a little harder here because it's a little darker. That's the thing you don't want to do, is reach for the black immediately. You want to get some gray behind it and put some black on top. So you never want to just reach for black, right? You want to get some grays and then put black on top. Alright, let's blend this in. Then we can put black on top of those grays. So we have a Giro 410 or 419, I'm not sure. This is basically a dark gray, not black. Black in Giro has a lot of good blacks. If you want dark colors, Giro is your place to be. Now we're getting on the thin side of replicating this line over here. We're pressing lightly. Never want to press hard, unless you're like in your final stage. And then we have some tick marks over here, like that. Then we have some areas that are just shaded. We have grays on it already, and we're coming with the black and shading out a little more. We'll have a marker come up here, like that. That sounds like a fart. All right, and then we come up here, like that. And then we have this darker area here to where we have a separation between the two sections. We have a lit section, and then we have a darker section. So we sort of want to represent this darker section down here with some fairly dark marks. I mean, it's not light at all. Alright, and now we come in with our thin white pastel and make some marks. So make some little tick marks here. Well, small marks, but you can do this with a pencil. But man, these sticks are so much cheaper than some of these expensive pencils. Like that. So we just want that. We'll come in with a pencil in a minute. Alright, so we have that, and then we come in with a black pencil. And rub that in. And a black pencil and a white pencil. So for both, a white pastel pencil, I just want these fine little markings that we have here. Like that. So we have a bunch of these, right? I mean, don't be afraid to go too white, because you can always come back with your black pencil. Like this area is really bright. And this area right here is really bright as well. Alright, so don't be afraid of that white pencil. And then obviously blend. And then we'll come in with our black. Now black, you want to reinforce some of these areas that we have here with some small markings. Because it's not all just vague markings. I mean, you do have some pretty exact markings. And you come on top of the grays that you had before and make a few sections a little darker. So that's basically it. And the final piece is to come in with a little color. So this is like a desaturated green, like a brownish green. I just want to literally barely touch some areas here. Just sort of have that hint of color, because I don't want it to be all black and white, obviously. Like I'm literally just barely touching the surface. And down here, I'm going to have it a little more prominent, because this area is sort of in this darker section. It'll be a little more prominent down here. Blend this really well. You don't want too much of that color. Again, just barely touching. And there we go. So we're just going to tweak it with the black pencil, but overall, I think you get the idea. You just want to replicate what's on there, and then we have a pretty good looking, once we darken this out, we have a pretty good looking log. Alright, so that's pretty much it. You know, we made a lot of mistakes on this, but if we zoom out here, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. It's blowing up on my social media, so yeah, it seems to look okay. If you're not on my Facebook, please add me as a friend. I'd love to have you as a friend. Would you like to be my neighbor? Anyway, so this is what it looks like. I said I didn't want to blend this, but I did anyway. So I just got the stick and I lightly, and I mean barely touching, got it to where it was smooth. Because I think I want to go ahead and frame it. I think I like it enough to frame it, which is unusual, but sure. So suede matboard appears to give you pretty photorealistic looking stuff. So, I'm pretty happy with it. I think this part of the eye right there needs to get fixed, so I will fix that offline. I think it's a bit too dark and bold. I do like the hair detail. So I do like the log detail as well. And the greeneries took a lot of time, but sure, whatever. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. The logs were done in pastel. The greenery was done in pastel. And the only thing we did really colored pencil-wise was this stuff up here. So this is square, or the oval area right here. And a little of this was colored pencil. The rest was pastels. So you can mix pastels and colored pencil, and you can make something that looks nice, in my opinion, from that. So overall, we did well, and I will see you in the next video.